Hello guys, it's Kendra and Keith here, and we are at volume 4 of the Marriage on the Go conversations. It's been really good so far. You guys let us know what you think in the comments. But anyway, today's question is, what characteristics did we see in each other that made us believe that we could be a good spouse to one another? Was that right?
Yes.
So I will let Keith start first, since I think I started the last video and I talked quite a bit in the last video. So I'll let Keith start.
This is where
I hope they're good.
I gas you up.
Yeah.
So, first off, she looks great, as y'all can see, but I think just, initially when I first met her, she was nice. Like I said in the previous video, she was like, hey, what's your name and stuff. So she didn't come off as stuck up or anything like that. But as I got to know her, her going to church, being Christian, that's definitely a plus for me, as that's how I was raised too. We went to church a lot as kids, but I actually like going to church. Some people go to church as kids and don't like to go and kind of get dragged there. That's a whole other situation. But that's something I was definitely looking for in a girlfriend at the time. And her convincing me, or kind of reminding me like, hey, let's not fall off of going to church. Make sure we go. Let's see what church we like together, stuff like that. So those were some things. But her honesty, her caring, and just thinking about me, things like that. That's what helped at the beginning. And as we got to know each other, all that stuff was just like double down, for lack of words, and just got to really see it like that. So
that was a quick list.
Yeah, I'm trying to people's attention span, they in and out. I got to get to it.
So honestly, I'm one of those kind of people that when I just feel something, I feel it. So it's not really like a lot of characteristics. My number one thing is that I just felt like he was going to be the one, like probably really shortly, within a short time of us dating. But one of the characteristics I loved about him was how smart he was. He seemed to always be like thinking ahead of things, or like, and he was really kind too. Like back then, I don't know if a lot of guys cared about like just nice gestures and being a good guy. Keith has always been a really good guy. Anybody that you talk to, my parents, my family, all of them will say first and foremost, he was a really good guy. And I just came from the type of family that kind of looked at the heart first versus anything, but it really helped too that he was handsome. That was one of the characteristics too, that I wasn't, he was handsome, really kind. He was really, really smart. And this is a fun one, but I always, I'm a dancer. So I was dancing quite a bit at every party, every club, anything, anywhere really. And although, Keith wasn't a heavy dancer, it took me a while to kind of get him out of his shell. But when we were at the club and at parties, he could dance with me. That was a big one. Like, I would dance and move and he would be right along with me. I would throw my leg up and
let you go.
He would catch it. It was just, I could not stand someone that would get behind me and dance with me and they couldn't keep up and they couldn't get the rhythm, or that I just couldn't stand it. But yeah, characteristics, that made me know that he would be a good spouse is that he was caring, kind, really smart. Could dance. He made me laugh too. And I think a big thing, and I feel like I'm always out talking you, but a big thing that really made me know, okay, well, he really is the one, is I had got into a major car accident, and then think about 2010, and I was in the hospital for like maybe 4 or 5 days,
Yeah.
4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And he was there every day, watching X-Men with me, watching movies, bootlegs, bringing me food. He was there with me, and I said, you know what? I think I'm done picking. And yeah. Yeah. Did I gas you up enough, babe?
I think so.
He was very handsome. Let's look at him. But yeah,
T-shirt.
but yeah, that was pretty much it. I think that when you're choosing someone, I would encourage you to look deeper than the superficial things. Look past the money, look past the looks. Yes, I mean, you have to kind of be somewhat attracted to the person, but I would encourage you to look deeper if you're single and looking for someone and trying to see, okay, well, what are the good things and qualities that will make a great spouse, you know. And also, I almost forgot this main one, but he was into God. Like, he prayed, he belonged to a church, and whenever I would talk about the Lord or my faith, he never made me feel like embarrassed about it or weird about it. Like, I remember just asking him randomly, will you pray with me? And he was like, okay. And we haven't stopped praying since, So, like, I just thought a lot of guys that I would date, they were kind of like iffy, or like they didn't really understand why I might be asking that. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm rambling now, but that's about it.
Yeah. One thing about the being nice, part is, one thing I always try to do, and I learned early in life, is to try to put myself in the other person's shoes. So that helps me kind of operate in a way of understanding, I think, more than most. If I want somebody to do that to me, I don't want to do it to them. And people, I guess people call it the karma and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of stuff, what goes around comes around. So my thing was, if I didn't want that happening to me, I didn't want to do it to them. So that's like when it comes to like lying or trying to hide stuff or cheating or whatever. If those thoughts ever cross our minds, like, well, I don't want her to do it to me, so I'm not going to do it. And it helps keep you on the straight path.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's just one simple thing. You don't have to remember, like, I shouldn't try to steal from people. I shouldn't try to cheat. I shouldn't try to. Would I want somebody to do it to me? If the answer is no, don't do it to them.
Yeah. And that's just not just marital relationships, but that's any relationship across the board. Friendships, your father, your mother, et cetera, et cetera. If you just treat everything like, okay, well, how would I feel if that in that moment, it would really change a lot of the outcomes for every relationship, and even with anyone.
And sometimes even when people do stuff that's kind of questionable or what have you, I try to take the time. I can't say I do it all the time. Nobody's perfect or whatever, but I try to take the time to think from their shoe, like, why would they do that? And you'll be surprised if you just take that step. You'll understand why people doing what they did and why it made sense to them. And maybe they just didn't know, the grand scheme, but didn't think it all the way through. But at least you can see why it made sense to them, and it kind of justifies, why they did what they did. So that helps as well.
Yeah.
But I think that was it for today.
Yep, that was it. And as always, support us any way you can. Hit us with a like below. Repost it, because they got that new repost on Instagram. Please repost it. share, watch on YouTube, watch the full thing on YouTube. And if you have any questions, let us know.
Call us.
You can call us, text us, DM us. You can put it in the comments below, but you may not want to do that. All of the above. We love y'all. See you later.